Hey everybody, Michael Kunman here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the brand new Cobra driver range, which has some amazing technology in it, especially for us fitters. So it is the DS-Adapt range. There's 4 different models which our man Blair is going to run you through shortly, and it also has the Future Fit 33 Hosel Adapter, which, as I was saying before, is absolutely a phenomenal tool that is going to help us fitters dial you in for your game. So Blair is going to start talking about the tech. We're going to hit some shots and we're going to have a lot of fun today. So let's get into it, Blair.
Thanks, Mike. Good to be back. 2025, lots to get stuck into. So let's get started with the Cobras. So DS-Adapt, the overall range will be familiar to Cobra fans from the last few years, with an addition. But from the naming, in this case, X is your main model, so that's going to suit most players. Adjustability in terms of the weights, and obviously that Future Fit 33 Hosel is what Cobra's really pushing this year. So the adjustable weights have been around for a few years, but a little bit more to play with this year. So X model, 10 gram and a 3 gram, and they can be flipped around, and obviously we can change them as well depending on swing weights and these sort of things. But certainly from a ball flight perspective, yeah, those a slightly heavy one, slightly lighter one, back and forward, that's what you're trying to achieve with the X model. LS is your more compact, lower spinning one, and it's weight at the front, again a heavier and a lighter, but you're moving left and right on that, so that's more of a left-right dispersion rather than moving it back. However, little weight at the back as well, so if you want to make it a bit more neutral in flight but have a bit more launch, you can put that weight back. So again, lots of adjustability there. Your max D, so your draw bias, again, weight in the heel, so that's what we're trying to achieve with that. Help those players that struggle a bit with the slice, get that ball turning over, so that's familiar as well. The new addition, Max K. So Cobra's taken the dive into the 10K MOI territory. So Max K is your 10K model. So nice big heavy weight at the back, really helping that forgiveness on the off-center strikes. So 4 models to play with this year, Mike. So yeah, lots and lots of options. And then, as I say, with Future Fit 33 with that adjustable Hosel, we can fine tune from there. So you're really trying to fit people into the head first and get the appropriate head. And then Future Fit 33 allows us to just make those fine-tuning adjustments to ball flight. So
definitely. So I guess one of the big things you want to probably talk about, that's awesome. The coolest thing about this range, 4 heads, it gives people variability. It gives people options about what they can choose from there. 3 heads is enough in most range, but if you add another head in as well, it just gives people that additional chance to find that club that's going to be completely suitable for them. And as you mentioned, it's head first, and then they dive into that Future Fit 33. And a lot of people have been commenting on social media, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff about their graph and how confusing it looks. But you kind of gave me a really good thought the other day about how to kind of narrow it down. So first of all, do you want to just talk about what it is and I guess how much adjustability and variability there is there in that Hosel adapter as well?
So yeah, 33 unique settings for independent loft and lie adjustment. It sounds like a lot, but ultimately when you look at it, when it comes down to changing ball flight, you're either going up or down or left or right. So yeah, up or down straight away. Well, we want either higher or lower, we want it higher. There's the bottom half of the graph gone. That's half of your settings out of it. You either want it to try and go slightly less draw bias, less fade bias. Cool, there's the other half of the graph out of it. So ultimately you're only playing with about 6 or 7 settings depending on what you're trying to do with the player. So 33 can seem like a lot, but when you then really narrow it down, you're probably looking at 6 or 7, and that's where you're fine tuning. So it's the important thing with it, independent loft and lie adjustment. Most of your adjustment sleeves from manufacturers will do both to some degree at the same time. So as you adjust loft, you're also adjusting lie. The Cobra won't do that. It is loft or lie, or you can do both. So you really do have a lot more adjustment than we've had previously. So really fine tuning, a great tool.
I think one of the coolest things about the Future Fit 33 is the fact that it covers all ranges. So I remember they showed a little graph where it encompasses, like you said, lie angle, loft angles, whereas a lot of the other manufacturers, they kind of target their little specific area. So some kind of target the flat area, some kind of target the upright area, but this is pretty much a full circle of whatever that we want to kind of manipulate and adjust into.
Spot on. So yeah, some will go just flat, some will go just upright. there's a couple that do a little bit of both, but certainly not to the same extent.
Probably the tightless sleeve.
Yeah, they'll be more upright than flat, but you can go a little bit flat. But yeah, this one allowing you to cover all aspects. Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, which is great. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of go through this, and we're not going to run through everything today. We're not going to dial it in too much. Basically, we're just going to hit a couple of shots, maybe do a few tweaks here and there, get a feel for them, show you some data, and then from there, like I said, in a couple of future videos, we'll talk specifically about that Future Fit 33 and take a little bit more of a deep dive into how it could influence either your starting direction, ball flight, and your fitting process as well. So anything else to add before we start knocking some shots down there? What shafts we got?
Yeah, we'll run through the stock shaft. The stock offerings and the shafts are actually really, really good this year. So they've gone with the Denali line from Project X. So you've got red, blue, and black. So that should suit a lot of different needs there. Then you do also have from Fujikura, they've got the Fujikura Pro. That's their new release from this year. The Tensai AV Blue, that's one that's been around for a long time, but a really neutral shaft that suits a lot of people. And on the lightweight front, Mitsubishi Vanquish, so down to that sort of 40 gram range. So yeah, really good range of stock offerings. Obviously we have aftermarket that we can do as well, but from a stock perspective, lots and lots of areas covered for sure.
That's great. And what am I going to test out today? Which shaft are you thinking I should be put into?
That is a great question. I think in terms of flex, we'll keep with your 6.5 or X flex that you normally do. From a profile perspective, you're a Ventus Blue sort of player, so let's just start with Denali Blue, that sort of mid-soft profile. Start with that and we'll see how we go.
Sounds good. Let's put it together and we'll go from there. Okay, so as you can see there, Blair's just put one together. So just run through, Blair, if you don't mind, what you've given me.
So we're starting with the X mark. So we've got the sort of your neutral model in its most forgiving setting. So 10 gram weight at the back, 3 gram at the front. So and just starting on A1 in the Future Fit 33 sleeve, and we can muck around with that later on. But yeah, that's just neutral A1 as a starting point. But yeah, so I mean, this will suit most players in terms of its general setup. But yes, obviously can tweak around the edges. But as it stands, most forgiving at the moment and neutral.
Awesome, sounds good. Let's hit a couple. We'll just probably hit 2 or 3 per club. We'll see how we go from there. See how my old body holds up. Now, again, I commented on the Strixon drivers when we were going through them. Now, these aesthetically has a really, really good look. That kind of like a matte finish on top there. Face is quite pronounced when I'm kind of looking down here, which I don't mind. I actually quite like seeing that, and it sits really quite square with that too. But absolutely love the look of it. Let's see how it feels. I haven't actually made a golf swing yet, so let's. This will be interesting. That's a good start.
Good start.
I like that.
Yeah, that'll work.
So for those of you who commented that I didn't get the transfer of energy in that previous video, I think that one probably takes the cake on that. I absolutely like that.
Can't argue with 1.49 smash, mate.
No. Can we stop here? I reckon...
Totally downhill from here.
I think it is totally downhill. Oh, that wasn't too bad as well. I love this golf club. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and I think my wife's in trouble. So
interesting. Again, we're looking sample size of 2 swings, but they've been sub 2,000 spin there.
Very low spin.
So yeah, there's an argument there that perhaps we could loft up a bit for you. They're just 9 degrees, by the way, so just 9 degree heads at this moment.
I would actually have to look at it, but the launch seems low, but I'd have to have a check on that as well. Oh, that's a bit low, that one. Low on the face. A little bit hooky, I reckon. Just a bad golf swing there. But the best thing about that is the fact that for a low on the face shot, miss strike, still 3,000. Yeah. And as you can see, we're using the RCT balls today, so the spin rate numbers are nice and accurate. Smash factor is still pretty good, ball speed's good. Carrying total's still great as well. So great start, Cobra, well done. It'd be interesting to see how the other ones kind of play out with this as well. Okay, so I am now like a kid in a candy store. That was amazing. I absolutely love that driver. So I'm super excited to see the next one, which is, what'd you hand to me, Blair?
I've given you the LS now, so going low spin. I've still kept it pretty neutral in terms of the weight. So 3 weights in this, so heel, toe and the back weight. So I've left the 10 gram in the back and the 3s in the fronts. So yeah, neutral in terms of ball flight left or right, hopefully. But yeah, I guess as forgiving as the LS is going to get, essentially, in that setting. So, but still A1 on the Future Fit 33.
Cool, we haven't changed that. Shaft's still the same. One of the things being is we know that the spin rate was quite low with the other models, so theoretically this should be lower.
I would think so,
but
on a similar strike, but yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. So let's have a look at this now. Aesthetically, again, really quite pleasing. Looks smaller head design.
Yeah, a little bit smaller, so certainly a bit more squat front to back. So yeah, more of a tour player's shape, I suppose, in the LS for sure.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, still, I like seeing the face. It's nice and visible. Actually, I love the look of that as well. That looks really, really cool. So let's see how this goes, and hopefully performs as well as the first one. Well, that felt good off the face. I like that. Good ball speed.
Good swing. Good swing.
That's an insane amount of ball speed.
Yeah.
Coming off of that.
That's, yeah, interesting. Okay. That is absolutely middle, that one. 1.5 of that.
I can safely say I've never cracked 300 metres. So, yeah. Okay, cool.
Good start.
I got to see if what do we got? 130 miles an hour. Let's see if I can pick it up a little bit without breaking my shoulder or hip. Join Danny. Well, that felt all right as well. Okay, maybe a little bit heely on that, but interesting.
Yeah, I would have expected that to kick up a bit more for heel strike, but yeah, still pretty good.
Well, not as good a strike there. Ball speed's still up though.
Yeah, okay, interesting. I mean, it's doing what it says on the box. It's low spin. Probably a bit lower than you'd like from a playability standpoint because it can be a bit volatile at that sort of number. But yeah, that's what it's meant to do. So
and I wouldn't be complaining either.
Yeah. Well, you don't complain when it goes down the middle. It's the one that you catch in a high toe that just falls out of the sky. That's the problem with low spin. But yeah, the LS does what it says on the box so it's yeah, really good performer.
But the best thing, interesting about both these models, both very low spinning. Again, might just be the way I'm delivering the golf club. So there's some dynamics there that, of course, isn't going to be for everybody. But I would be at the moment very, very happy with either of these models. But the ball speed that comes off this, like that's just absolutely incredible. So if that's something you're looking for, then you're going to be pretty happy with these new models of drivers. So.
Cobra's been really strong on the ball speed for the last few years. It's one of those the things that has been a standout with that head. Yeah, you could think maybe forgiveness and things that have been lacking behind some of the other brands, but certainly ball speed, it's been the number one for the last few years, that's for sure. So yeah, that's one they've done very well, and it continues on with the DS-Adapt. So
100% it does, yeah. So let's get into the next one. I'm in love with 2 drivers, and we're going to see if I make it a third. So what do we have in my handy? What have you given me, Blair?
So I've gone to the Max K for you. So as I say, this is Cobra's dive into the 10K MOI.
Sure.
So it's, yeah, normal formula for 10K. Big heavy weight at the back to try and get the stability as high as possible. So it's going to suit a lot of players, but you will generally see spin kick up a little bit because of that weight at the back. That's still the 9 degree though, so it'd be interesting to see what sort of difference we get out of it. But yeah, that is as forgiving as Cobra do in the DS-Adapt. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Awesome. One question I did have, and I'm sure everyone's thinking about as well, is it the same face on every club?
Yes, yeah. So you'll see obviously face depth is changing with obviously the LS being that slightly different shape, so a little bit deeper in the face, but not as deep in the forward to back. But yeah, face technology and the crown, yeah, standard across all the models.
Sweet. Definitely looking down at this one here, big difference between this and the LS. So yeah, a lot deeper on there, so looks a lot larger as well. So looks more forgiving, which is really nice. So it'll be very interesting to see how this feels, how it comes off. Not bad, a little left I would say.
Left rough.
Left rough, I would take that all day long, that is for sure. Pretty good strike, 1.5, I'm happy with that. Spin rate's kicked up a little bit. This is a 9 degree still, isn't it? Yes.
It is, yeah, still 9 degree.
Still 9 degree.
400 revs there compared to the other ones, but turned it over a little bit, so.
Oh, that felt good. Good ball speed.
Good strike. Nice, yeah, okay.
So yeah, some pretty good numbers there, which is really nice.
But that's a nice, safe spin rate. So, you know, anywhere in that sort of 2.5, 2.4, 2.5 is sort of ideal. So 2.7's fine, it's safe. But yeah, still 1.5 smash is still struck really well.
Definitely. I mean,
but yeah, obviously because of that spin, you don't get that same distance that you got out of the LS, but you still take 280, that's for sure.
100% I'd take that. So it's interesting because we haven't spoken about it, but I don't often crack 280. Especially don't crack 290. I don't actually think I've ever cracked 290 before. So if I can hit 280 fairly consistently, that's a huge achievement for me, just by technology. So it's great. Might actually go right, this one. No, I need to work on my feel.
Bit high in the head probably based on that
Yeah.
spin. Yeah.
So funnily enough, that didn't feel good off the face. Smash factor's still really good. So quite an interesting feeling when you don't strike it quite out of the middle, but still really good smash factor there as well. So
yeah,
as you can see, that carrying total is, I'm pretty damn happy with that, that's for sure.
Still getting out there, that's good. Yeah, still a bit high on the face, so that's why the spin's down. But again, that's still a couple of hundred revs more than a good strike on the LS and the X. So that's kind of what you'd expect out of that max K with the weight all the way at the back. So the left and right, or sort of the heel and toe strikes, that's where that one should help you out a little bit and just minimise the gearing. But yeah, you will probably see a bit of a drop in ball speed and a bit more spin in those strikes. But hopefully, in terms of the left and right dispersion, that should cut down from a model like that for sure.
Which is going to be really important for anybody, really. It doesn't really matter. And do you know the cool thing about all these models is there's 3 models now that I've tried at kind of 110 to 115 miles an hour, and they're all pretty suitable. That you could play with any of those models at that speed. So it shows that, again, these models can cross between hopefully different swing speeds and everything else. And like I say, you can't just put yourself in a bracket. And that's why fitting is so important.
Absolutely. Yep.
Also.
No worries.
Cool. So let's get to the next model. Cool. Okay, so that is 3 models down in this new Cobra range, and we are into their final model, for which is.
So we're max D now. So this is your draw bias model. So weight in the heel. So certainly for those people that are prone to a bit of a slice, it's to try and correct that a little bit. So yeah, just the one weight, the 10 gram, and that's nice in the heel. So you'll probably see visually it sits a bit more upright as well. So yeah, that's again, we're just trying to take out that right side of the fairway for the right-handed golfer anyway.
And it's still set on A1 though, isn't it?
Yeah. So from a setting standpoint, with that Future Fit 33, we're still neutral from that. But the head itself is designed to try and get everything to go a little bit left for most people. So
because it looks a little closed. Basically, when I'm sitting up here.
Spot on.
Yeah, which
a little closed, a little upright. Yep. Now, in fairness, that is a 10.5 degree head we've got there. It's the only model we have here in the Max D at the moment. But so yeah, I wouldn't pay too much attention to spin rates off these shots because, in comparison to the other heads we've just tried, it is a different loft. So, but it'll just be interesting to see directionally whether you can
not hit the trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see how we go. Face. So that had nothing to do with the golf club. That was just a really bad golf swing. But I'm going to leave it in there.
Bad swing, but a heel strike, so it straightened it up. That's what you want.
That was intentional. That was intentional. Well, that was all right. It's going to go pretty high, I reckon. And that's probably what it should be doing, isn't it, when we strike it all right?
Yeah. So that's what I would expect that club to do for your swing because it's obviously not what you need, but that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to get it to start left and stay left essentially. So
and a little bit more spin.
Yeah, and keep the spin up as well. So again, about 10.5 lofts, so that'll do a bit of that. But you will generally see the Max D be a slightly spinnier head. But yeah, in terms of directionally, that's exactly what I would have expected it to do with your swing. Not
the first one.
Well, no. First one looked like something I'd produce. Should be similar. Yeah.
Definitely similar.
Yeah.
So pretty hard again. My bad shot, my tendency is to close the face a little bit through impact, and I do get left shots, as you're kind of mentioning just there. So this isn't going to help me in any way, shape or form. I could try and hold it open, but again, it's just nice to see what kind of it does anyway, what it comes out. And again, yeah, spin rate kicks up there a little bit. Carrying total is still pretty good. Ball speed's still pretty good.
Absolutely, yeah.
So a lot of good numbers there.
Yeah, but you can see that obviously for a player that does swing across it, has that left to right shape, with the weight in the heel trying to get that face to square up, it's going to help him out. That's not you, that's why it's going left, but yeah, for that person that normally ends up right trees, perfect.
100%, yeah. So as we were saying at the start, the process of fitting with these heads is next level now. Again, we start with head design, we figure out, of course, all the different parameters there. So again, head style, we can look at loft as well, and then we move into that Future Fit 33. So I guess the next stage for me, we're not going to go through it today, would be then to choose a head or a couple of heads and figure out kind of which one I'm kind of more happy with, and then we can start kind of tweaking it a little bit more with that Future Fit 33. And with the amount of options we've got there, we can really start to kind of dial that in.
Yeah, it's just lots and lots of options for our fitters to dial you in. So it's it's nice to have the head designs. That Future Fit 33 sleeve just takes it that little bit further. So yeah, movable weights, just lots and lots of ways for the guys to get the best shots possible out of your swing.
By all means, yeah. So I mean, overall there, as you can see, some amazing data, some really good ball speeds, spin rates. Again, a little low on some of them, but again, that could just be the way I'm delivering the golf club. We could play around with a few different parameters here and really optimize that. But amazing distance, some really good forgiveness off the face as well, and honestly, an amazing range of drivers that are going to help a lot of golfers out there. So if you're in the market for a new driver, I would definitely suggest putting this on your list to at least give it a go. If you're near a fitting center, I would definitely suggest that because it's a little bit easier to go through, especially with someone that's qualified, that knows the fitting chart, knows what it's going to do to kind of adjust your swing or kind of adjust your ball flight, and hopefully get you really dialed in. So any other thing that you want to kind of add before we finish up there?
I think that's the important point with Future Fit 33 is that yes, the 33 settings can be confusing for the average golfer that's going to walk in and buy this off the shelf. It's not really what it's for. It's for the fitters. It's for the experts that know how to manipulate the ball flights in your swing to get you dialed in. So by all means, you can play with it yourself, but I can understand why some people do think that is a little bit too much and a bit confusing. But yeah, leave it to the experts. They'll get you dialed in and off you go. Play your best golf.
Sounds good. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hopefully it gave you a good insight into this new Cobra range. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it if you do, and we are going to keep coming out with more and more content. If you have any suggestions as well, some videos you'd like to see, some educational aspects, also just let us know. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.